Hello, and welcome to another episode of Intune.training, the place to learn how to use Microsoft Intune, the Steve and Adam Show. Hey, I'm Adam.
Hey, I'm Steve.
Steve, what's going on, man?
Not much, Adam. Yourself? Just trying to...
And I'm ready to get past technical difficulties and get this video recorded today.
Well, yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. All right, well, so let's get to it.
Yep.
We, last week, Steve and I recorded a video you guys won't see around Mike Niehaus's enrollment status page script that he wrote a blog about it on the 17th of February. And he has since released a new version of it, and he released a blog on the 24th, and we decided it was worth re-recording the video because of the new features he's added to that script, and so we are going to do that. But what the idea here is that there is things that happen in your enrollment status page, or ESP, that you might want to be able to inventory off of a client, and so that's what we're going to start digging into. Yeah.
Yep.
Does that sound right, Steve?
Sounds good to me. So this is where we're just going to now demo the process of using the script, and what we're going to utilize is Hyper-V virtual machine and what's called PowerShell Direct. So that allows us to connect into the PowerShell session of the VM while it's running without actually doing anything on the VM itself through the UI.
Yeah. And now, Steve, you helped clarify the purpose of the script, and because we were talking about so if we're only demoing this in Hyper-V, how would someone doing this on a physical machine, what would be the purpose of this script and utilization of it?
So there's a couple of reasons why you would use this on an existing device. This is where it gives you the ability to see what happened during the enrollment status page itself. So if a user turns around and goes, hey, look, it had an issue and I hit continue anyway, it's like, what was the issue? I don't know. One of the apps failed. Oh, well, that's not useful. But this allows us to run the PowerShell script over the top of us and over the top of that computer, and it'll give you that information of what happened with that computer. It's probably the best way to explain it, why it's still so important.
Yeah, and so in our demos, we're going to be able to show it live as the machine is being provisioned because of being able to use PowerShell Direct to get into the Hyper-V machine. So we'll be able to live profile what's going on. But in a normal environment, you typically would not do that. But this is great if you are trying to diagnose issues with your AutoPilot profile in general. So if it's hanging on the ESP, you can spin up Hyper-V and do this and be able to look at it while that machine is stuck at the provisioning screen and see if there's anything that you need to look at.
Definitely.
So with all that talking out of the way, let's get into the good stuff here.
Yeah.
So we've got two machines that are sitting ready to go, and so I'm going to go ahead and get one provisioning. Because it's going to take a moment, and then Steve will talk us through. Actually, I'll go ahead and get them both going.
Because it won't matter, yep.
Yeah, and we're going to let Steve talk us through these scripts. Now, Steve, you sent me over a really cool thing.
Yep.
From our buddy Bruce Saw. So yes. Bruce is one of our friends that we've met at Ignite and at EM+S, and he's been doing some really cool things with Intune in his within his company, and moving their company into Azure, and so we've been able to work with him on lots of his cool things he's doing. And so he was really excited about the script from Mike Niehaus, and so he shared with us his wrapper basically to kind of have a more robust version.
Well, it's not robust. What it is,
version, but
it gives us the ability to go in and run it across multiple devices at the same time and pull that information out, right? And the cool thing about it, what we're looking at here, is he's taken a lot of the hard work out of the process of creating or running that command. So what we're utilizing is a concept called or new PS session, and we're creating that session object from the user object. So most people, when we say, oh yeah, we're going to use PowerShell Direct, you go, all right, well, I need to put in my Windows credentials, so domain name /user. And it's like, well, hang on, That doesn't work when you go and utilize something like Azure AD, because it's not a local account and it's not a global account. So therefore, how do we actually specify the domain? That's where we use the term Azure AD slash the UPN of the user. So what we're going to do, Adam, is we're going to manually run these lines. It's just more we want to show what you can do with it, right?
Sounds good.
So I'll get you to grab the user object or create a user object with the Azure AD slash Adam at Intune training.
Yep.
And then from there, we're going to do $creds.
Get that.
We're going to do that one.
Thinking about it here.
Cool.
Okay.
And those are the two most important fields, right? So now when we hit line 13 and we're going to create a new session, I'm just going to take the whole thing because there's two ways you need to put in a password for your account. So there's two ways we can run commands on that session.
I got the wrong VM. Sorry, Steve. Hold on.
It's all good.
There we go. Let's try that again on that one.
So what we can do as well, Adam, to save you typing in your password constantly, is we can create an object called $creds. And then it's just going to be get credential, space, username. No, username. Dash username.
What?
Not dash.
Dash username.
Yep. So instead of credential, dash username.
I got you.
And then just put user.
Okay.
And that will create that object that we can reuse constantly. Just to enter on the message. Okay. Message.
Or we can just type it in a couple of times. How about that?
That's fine. All right, we've already got the session. So if you down the bottom, Adam, go $session.
Yep.
And you'll see that we have a session open to virtual machine IT AP. Right. So now what we're going to do on that machine is we need to set the execution policy and everything associated, but we're not in that session. So what we're going to do first is down the bottom section, Adam, for me, is do enter-ps session. And then $session.
Do we do pass it the session?
Yep.
Okay.
So then what you'll see is we'll change it from being psc:/user Adam OneDrive to ITAP2 all the way across. Sweet. So now next step is we want to set this execution policy, but we don't want to run the whole line because that's going to mean that it's going to try and invoke the session on itself.
Oh, you're right. Look at that.
So we need to run
So now,
the text.
we're already in there,
That's
and so
right.
we can just run it directly.
That's correct.
Oh, I see. I ran it. It doesn't seem to have liked it.
It's running down the bottom, I think. No. Yep, there you go.
There it goes. Okay. Yep.
So then the next step we're going to run is the package provider. If you're running interactively, you don't need to run this, but if you're running non-interactive, you do need to run it. And this is going to update the NuGet package and everything associated. So then when we go to get the script from the PowerShell Gallery, you'll be able to get it. So just hit F8 on that install script for us there, Adam.
And to point that out, so this install, so if you ever do this where you do install script and it's pulling from the PowerShell Gallery, which is what this is doing when you do this, it automatically will start installing these things, and that's where you start getting those prompts where it'll say yes or no. Do you want to accept? That's what you would normally have to go through if you're running this interactively.
That's correct.
My highlighting skills are failing me right now.
Yes.
There we go. All right, so now we're installing the Get-AutopilotESPStatus script that is coming from Mr. Niehaus's blog. So that's what he told us to do here, and so we will be getting that.
So now what I'm going to get you to do, Adam, before we go on to line 17, is down the bottom I want you to run the Get-AutopilotESPStatus. Yep, that's the one, and just hit enter.
Look at that.
And we'll see that we have a task there. All right, so if we go and try and run it as online right now, it would fail. because we don't have any credentials provided.
Oh, now it's trying to install the graph.
Yeah, all of the graph.
Oh, look, this is what it was. Our next step was going to be.
That's right.
If it's not there, install it.
Yep.
And so this is all happening over here on, not that machine, but the other one, over on our AutoPilot 2 machine in the background while
So, Adam, what I'll get you to do is do Shift F10 on that machine for me. If it opens up, nope. Control or delete it. So the button up the top, don't hit it on your keyboard. And go to Task Manager. And hopefully it'll pop up. Yep, and now we hit the more details, and we go to details on the right hand side. Yep, and then what you should see here is you should see a PowerShell session. And there it is.
That's us.
And that's us connected in via PowerShell.
Nice. And so we could, from here, run a new command prompt. There we go.
Yep. And we'll do PowerShell and do a whole heap of stuff. So what it looks like is happening on the VM under the hood is in the VS Code. It looks like it's hanging on installing a something. So I'll get you to.
Because we needed to do the force most likely. Yep. So that's, if we would just run Bruce's script like he wrote it, it would probably just help us out here, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't likely.
So let's try that.
Well, actually, it looks like it's had an error trying to authenticate because it was popping a UI. So what we have to do is run line 18, which is the connect graph, non-interactively.
Oh, I see. Oh, this because it was, yeah. I gotcha.
Because there was no token already there.
Right. Okay. Well, it's still reinstalling the graph at this juncture, so
okay.
We'll let that
there we
finish.
go.
Okay,
that's
there we
done.
go. Hey, success. Right.
Now we're going to run that. Run selection. I don't think it ran.
I don't think so either. Could be waiting here all day. There we go.
Cool. So that's going to use the active session on that device. Because Adam's already
that's
signed
nice
in.
Because so what's happening is that we logged in the wizard here, and it accepted our credentials to then begin the AutoPilot process.
That's
so
correct.
now
and also
it's running as my account already, doing the provisioning, and it said, "Oh, hey, you're already logged in to Azure," and so just pass those credentials in.
No,
or is this passing the ones that we gave it?
It's parsing the session that we provided.
Okay,
because it should never go across sessions.
Oh, okay. I see. I got that.
Yeah. So now if we just hit F8 on that, we should have a whole lot more things in the list. Oh, I don't think it ran.
It's spinning. There it goes.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, we did not see this before.
That's right.
This is neat. And so the big change here from the previous one is essentially it's going online to Azure or to Intune, and it's doing a comparison of provisioned applications that show up in the enrollment status registry keys, and then it's linking those IDs, these to actual applications in our tenant.
That's correct. And we can see that it's installed the company portal while it's still waiting for the Office CSP version to install. And then if we refresh it again, Adam, we should probably see another application trying to install.
Okay. One more time.
And you'll see that it's saying getting list of apps and policies at the top, and that's the computer object. Then we do it down the bottom for the user object.
Oh yeah, and so that's worth noting is that we actually deployed Office to all users.
Yes.
That's cool. So yeah, you get to see which policies are doing which thing.
Yep.
Okay, so Steve, while this is going, we had done this during the during our original video. So we opened up the contents of this script.
Yep.
And we took a peek at what we're actually doing there.
Yes.
So what is it? Get command now Contents?
Yeah, so what we need to do is get command of the PowerShell script. So then it's the get AutoPilotESP, should nearly be able to, and then just hit enter. And why we're doing that is we want the source location. So we're going to copy that source location, and then what we're going to do is get dash content of that.
Woo! Cool.
Alright, so that's the actual script that we're going through. So we can then start stepping into the registry path that's being used. We can go and understand what's going on. So this is the sort of thing that you should be doing when before you're running any script on your computer, is you should be going in and understanding what it's doing. And that's what we have the ability to do here, is it will then go and check that path. And it'll validate. So we can actually copy that string atom. And then what we're going to do is set location to that down in the bottom section. And we paste that in and hit enter, and now we're there. And we can see all of that information. So then we can go get child items. And you'll see the same thing. If you do, recurse, and there you can see all of the information underneath every single user, everything component, right? It's really cool.
And so, I mean, this is obviously not what the point of this is. So this is the registry key that, or one of the registry keys that Mike's script is using to look up the information that he's then cleaning up and presenting to you in a readable format. So these are keys that exist on any provisioned device that you've rolled out. So it creates this Windows AutoPilot key in the registry, and you should be able to go and just browse that natively if you want to go look at it in the GUI. But this is just showing how you can do this in a scripted manner to go and watch and look at this. And the cool bit here with this updated script is that you get to do that mapping of the device GUID and give you, or the application GUID, and give you the actual application information.
That's right.
Or application name as you go through it. So it's kind of neat.
You'll need
trying to get
no, you won't be able to unless you do cd/. So the bug that Adam's hitting here is the length of the buffer string is far too long. So it's causing issues where it's folding it back over the top of itself.
Yes, and I think, well, we're still in the registry provider, but I think okay, so that works good.
Yeah, it won't matter it's in the registry provider because we go and call it explicitly. The path what it is there's a bug in Visual Studio Code where it's handling PowerShell. So if the string is longer than what's on the screen, it doesn't fold over to the next line.
I gotcha.
So that's still
essentially we
and because our Office
is going to take a while because Office is we deployed Office 365 to these machines so that they would take a while so that we could talk through it in our demo. But unfortunately, that's backfiring because it won't finish during this demo for us to be able to show you the completed product here. But oh, hey, check it out! We did get a new entry.
Yep.
I don't believe that was there a minute ago.
Was.
So anyway, I guess the key takeaway here is, number one, you've got a cool registry key that, if you didn't know, it exists, and you can go look in the registry and see the information that's coming from AutoPilot for your machine. But more importantly, you've got a great script to help you quickly export that information into a more meaningful format for being able to debug and diagnose what is happening with your enrollment status page. And get through that. So
exactly.
Hey, we've got. Sorry, we're almost done, but my number 3 machine actually is finishing.
Let's go and connect to number 3 then.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is exit the session down the bottom.
Okay, hang on. I'm responding to my pin request over here on the VM. And while that's going, we will exit.
Oh, you just need to type exit, but yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
All right, so good housekeeping here, Adam, before we go and create a new session object is, no, don't hit the trash, is to do $session pipe remove PS session. So you'll see it as line 20 on Bruce's code there.
Oh yeah, I'll just just run that directly. All right, excellent.
I'll try it again because you ran it session. Cool. And what that actually does is it removes the session, the PowerShell session on the VM that you're running it on.
Excellent. Okay, so we are connecting to number 3.
Yep.
And we will make a new session.
Keep the $session.
Oh, you're right.
Of course I'm right.
You're always right, Steve. Get ahead of myself sometimes. If you guys watched me do my regular work, you would be amazed that I ever get anything useful done.
And what we're going to do, Adam, is we're just going to run line 14 to 19 straight as how 6 characters.
My other tenant is only 4 because I don't care.
Yes. So what we're going to do is run 14 to 19 as Bruce has it written there.
Okay. How far?
Yep, keep going down until you get to, 2 more. That one there. And what that's going to do is it's just going to set everything up for us and then run the command.
Oh, got encryption happening now. Started enabling the TPM on my
Awesome.
VMs.
By default?
Yeah, well, not by default. I could not sort out how to do that the other day, so I gave up. Some weird random message that I did not care to mess with at the time.
Yes.
Microsoft Windows AutoPilot, enrollment status tracking, and here it all is.
Yep.
All right. So we are still loading. Well, we had such a really long run with successful demos, and I think it's like 1, that maybe we won't have success this time. Let's see.
Oh.
Actually, no. He just did a get module, but he doesn't have a error action ignore warning. So that's all.
Yes. As you can see, we will be working with Bruce to put some error handling in the script.
Yes. But we will get this uploaded to someone's GitHub repo for sharing.
Yes. Or it just might end up down in the comments.
It is short enough. Yeah. So close. I don't really have any more filler at this moment.
No, Steve. I don't either. I think that's I'm comfortable to call it that, Adam. I think it's been a good demo of what we can do with the script, and that there's always going to be new features added to it. So.
Well, that sounds good to me. We'll just leave it there so they won't see it fail again. So.
Exactly. Thanks for that, Adam. I'm looking. I'm sure we're going to be doing a in live or in person session soon. Very excited by that for Microsoft MVP Summit. So we'll looking forward to the face-to-face and seeing if we can get any special guests.
Oh, see, I'm going to interrupt your closeout because look, it worked.
Yeah.
Look at that. Love it.
Didn't, but yeah.
Done. So now you got to see the end. Yay, we did it.
Yay.
Well, hey, thank you for watching yet another episode of Intune.training. Hopefully you found this valuable and useful. And as always, you can find us on social media, on Twitter. I'm at AdamGrossTX.
And I'm at OnPrem Cloud Guy.
Yep, and yeah, that's it for now.
Awesome.
And yeah, check the comments definitely, or not the comments, the thing,
the information down there.
with all of the links to things that are useful, including step-by-step click-throughs to skip over all the dead space in this video. Awesome.
Yes.
All right,
Thanks, Adam.
Steve. See you, man.
So.